sing a little bit, just a little bit.
Usher, baby.
You should sing a little bit, just as like an outtake.
What? Okay, babe. I'm just gonna start
Your
dancing.
singing voice isn't bad.
Ready?
It's not bad. You know.
Baby, babe, baby, babe. Listen, I will last forever, girl, 'cause I don't wanna let you.
When I'm hurting, baby.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is Micah Norris.
I'm Mr. Szabo or Ross Szabo.
Welcome to the All Feelings Considered podcast episode 4.
It's the Valentine's Day episode. It is about relationships and
Yes.
The good and bad. The good and bad of relationships.
I hope you guys liked my opening, the Usher opening. Did you
That was
like
pretty
it?
good. I thought it was impressive.
How did you feel about his performance?
I really loved it. I mean, I shared off screen earlier that Usher and I are the same age. Micah then asked if Usher is 52 years old. He's not, so that was cool. That was a really great moment for us. So I grew up with Usher's music because we're the same age. Fun fact. Also graduated the same year as Kobe Bryant. So like,
You said that last episode.
That's happened. So I feel like what's happening right now is like my age and generation is peaking. Like now you're
They
like,
are. I can
oh,
kinda
look at
see
this.
that.
Look
Yeah.
at this. So I watched it and was like, this is awesome. What did you think?
I thought it was pretty cool, and then Alicia Keys came on screen and
It happens. Performers, it happens to performers. It happens to performers. You know, not all of us.
I wasn't gonna point that out. I was gonna talk about how she stole my man, bro.
Oh. He's a little old for you in terms
Well,
of in terms of healthy relationships. Since we're discussing healthy
but I
relationships,
am legal now, so
a 45 to 18 gap is problematic.
it happens. So.
It's not.
Okay,
No.
all seriousness, that is not okay.
No, it's not okay. No.
But no, yeah,
No.
I thought that was pretty funny. Seeing all the memes about that, like, that was pretty funny.
I thought the funniest meme I saw was last year. Rihanna performed pregnant.
Is it Rihanna or Rihanna?
It's Rihanna. No,
We say
she
Rihanna.
pronounces her name when she says her name.
She
is
says Rihanna,
She
but
does.
I call her Rihanna or Riri.
Okay, so like we're just gonna disregard how someone wants their name to be referred to.
Okay, Rihanna, my fault.
Anyway, the meme was last year she performed pregnant. This year we all got pregnant.
We all got pregnant. I
And
saw
was
that
like,
one.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, that was actually crazy. That should have been me, but yeah. We're just gonna go.
Wait, what should have been you?
I should have been Alicia Keys.
Oh, okay.
I
You
would
wanted
have
to
gave the same
perform.
vocals, you know.
Wow. I mean,
What?
wow. She's an accomplished performer. She said
No,
one,
I'm not.
She had one bad
She
note.
had one bad. I was hearing a lot of people like flame her, and I'm just like, are y'all singing at the Super Bowl? No.
No.
Also, I've literally been on like the Alicia Keys train. Like I've been listening to You Don't Know My Name like 100 times a day.
Wow.
It's just a really good song.
People love a mistake. And that is the perfect segue into our conversation about relationships. Because the reality is, most people love to talk about other people's relationships. They love to judge them. They love to tell you what you can do. They love to give advice, while also simultaneously being in unhealthy relationships.
Or not in one at all.
Well, this is a fun statistic to start with. This is the highest amount of single people we have ever had in recorded history.
I knew that because of the loneliness epidemic. Like I had a feeling.
47 people are single. 47% of adults are single currently.
Wow. I just hope that just changes as I get older. Well, I'm already like an adult already, but like I don't want this to be a problem once I'm like 30-ish. Cause like I still believe in like companionship or whatever you want to call it. Like,
But that is currently a lot of people's situation. There are a lot of
Yeah.
people, 30s, 40s, 50s. I mean, look, we have almost as many people single as people in relationships or married. That's a new trend.
yeah. Why do you think this is the case?
Technology.
I was gonna say the same thing.
Number one contributor is because people are now getting all the dopamine and all of the different things they need for their brains from their phones, so they don't know how to interact or talk to people.
And there's also like more options on your phone too, if you
Sure.
get what I mean. Like your algorithm, say like, I mean anyone's algorithm, if they go on like Instagram or something and they go to their explore page, they can see like people that that they're like attracted to on their For You page. They're not really gonna. Some people don't really search for that outside of social media if they have it on their phone. You know what I mean? So it's just, it's definitely became harder. The standards has become crazier.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. A lot of people are single because they're not finding a relationship that actually matches what they need. Like some of the people who are single right now, it's like a positive claim in their life. Like if you're finding people who don't treat you right, who can't match what you need, who can't help you grow, then a lot of times you're better off being single.
Yeah, so that is true.
I don't know that the standards, I mean, sure, the standards have definitely shifted, but I think also people are less willing to just compromise and be like, yeah, well, I don't get anything I need from this relationship, but I'm going to stay in it.
There's some, I agree and disagree, because there are some like cases where people want to be in a relationship because they see their friends or other people that they know that are in a relationship. I feel like our generation, like, I guess I'm speaking for everybody, but I feel like our generation yearns for relationships more than like what we're dealing with now, like hookup culture. Or have you heard of situationships?
Of course.
Okay, yeah, sorry. I keep on. You're not 42. You're 44. You're not 52. You're 45.
Who sings Situationship? Who sings the song? Guess we got a situation.
Oh,
Snow Allegra.
Oh, yeah.
I saw Snow one day and was like, I thanked her for her music. I was like, you're a talented.
Yeah, I love her.
Musician. So yeah,
we have more of those. Like, it's just, I feel like we're just further from getting into relationships because of all these other things happening with us. And
you just left the room. I don't even know where you went.
Yeah, I just started thinking. I just felt my brain just like,
and you just floated out of the room.
I just started thinking.
What happened?
I just started thinking, man. Personal experience.
But here's the thing: it's not just the youngest generation that's in situationships.
That is true.
It's across all ages now.
Yeah.
Part of me wonders with technology too. Now that you have access to like all these dating apps and everything, all those things. I've never been on a dating app, but I've seen them.
Do you like dating
Is it
apps?
because you have so much more access to people that you're like overwhelmed and you're like, I don't know if I can even like date anyone. I don't know.
That is true. Yeah. Overstimulation. I don't like that.
And then it's hard to find people too, I think.
I think so too.
It's hard to find people.
It's like, I think for me, I won't go too hard in my personal story, but I think for me it's like I say like I know what I want, but at the same time like I don't. Like there's things that I want like just looking at a person, but there's so much more things that you have to consider going into like if you want to go into a relationship with somebody. Like yes, obviously they have to look cute, they have to like have good grades. That's what I think. But then when you spend time with a person, like that just really determines if you really want to be with that person. I don't know if that makes any sense at all, but it just, like I said, it just takes time. And I think since we see more people and we have like technology, it's just kind of like, why do we have to cater all of our time to this person if we have like other people? You get what I'm trying to say?
Definitely. And what's hard about that too is you don't really get to know a person until after like a year.
Yeah.
Like the lust phase lasts, 3 to 6 months. Then the attraction phase, which is where like your brain's now overwhelmed with all these other things, where you're still obsessed with this person, can last another like 6 months or longer. And then after that, you actually get to know someone and see what somebody's like. That's the difficult thing too. I think a lot of people don't really actually get to know someone, and then when they do, they're like, "Oh my gosh,
I don't even want to be." Yeah, and sometimes like I feel like the process is quicker. Like you meet somebody, they might love bomb you like a few times, and then you're just like, "Wait a minute, I don't want to be with this person. Like I don't see a future with this person." Yeah, that I honestly think love bombing happens a lot in our generation as well. Like in the Gen Z generation, because it's just like boom, boom, boom. Okay, we want this. Let's go for it. We have this. We got that over. Like I feel like it's just a boom, boom, boom sort of situation.
Is love bombing healthy?
No, I don't think so.
Can you define love bombing for our viewers?
Well, I'm gonna try. I think love bombing. Well, the definition that I think love bombing is when you meet a person, you're attracted to them, and then you all of a sudden start saying how like you could say like how beautiful they are, like you're attracted to this person because they're like cute or whatever. Like you can say that, but when it gets it's when the compliments get excessive. Like, oh, I could spend a future with you, or oh, like let's have babies, or oh, let's get married, or like just introducing crazy topics that shouldn't be introduced until you're like a year or two in a relationship. Okay. Just imagine that all in 1 month.
Right. Or in a week.
Yeah. It's not okay.
Well, but I also think sometimes people are so lonely or so starved or so hopeful.
They just don't know.
Or so like caught up in the neurotransmitters and the chemicals released that they're like, this is how I should act, this is what I should want, and they're just kind of impulsively saying what they feel. Yeah,
I see both sides to it. Like I understand where people get so like passionate that they're like, oh yeah, like I'm into this person, let me go like try to like pursue it and like catch it. But at the same time, it's just like there's certain things that you should and shouldn't do when you like first meet somebody.
Sure.
There's layers to it for sure.
Is there still pressure on people in your generation to have a relationship?
No, but I remember like, I mean, I actually don't know. What do you guys think? You want to speak?
I was just gonna say yes.
Yes, why?
Well, definitely depending on like your family, but I definitely have a couple of friends that like, you know, their I definitely have a couple of friends that their families are like, you know, once you get out of college, you're gonna get married and all that. You need to have kids and stuff.
Wow.
Like, I don't know, stuff like that. But that's more like a traditional family sort of thing. I'm not sure if that's like the case for everybody. But
Jose, what do you got?
Yeah, I feel like more so like family. Like, oh, let's say it's Christmas, and then you go over to your aunt's house, and your aunt's like, oh, like where's the girlfriend or where's the partner or whatever. So it's like from family, I feel like there is some pressure to be in a relationship.
I can see that. I haven't had one of those questions in like years though, because I just know for me in my household, my mom doesn't push it. She's just like, you find that person, and then anytime I think I'm going to find that person and I start talking to her about it, she like gives me the pep talk like, if he does this, leave. If he like make sure he respects you, da 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 da. But it's always a false alarm. But that's besides the point. I just think I think it depends for it depends on whether the family is traditional like they said or not.
I was trying to think about the same answer for people my age, and I do think there's still some expectation that you should have a partner, especially like in the middle range. I don't think there's as much pressure as there used to be to have kids. I don't think there's as much pressure to like be married because fun fact, while most like 50% of marriages end in divorce, the divorce rate for second marriages is higher than first marriages.
Yeah,
divorce rate for third marriages is higher than second marriages. So typically what's happening there is people think like, oh, that was just that one marriage and I'll find someone new and I'll change, but they don't actually do the work to change. They just repeat the same patterns over and over again. And that's the issue with love. That's the issue with our Valentine's Day episode, is that a lot of people just repeat the same patterns of giving and receiving love throughout their life from teenage years all the way into adulthood.
Yeah. I agree with that. I wonder if people that have been in relationships, I wonder if they try to learn things from like each relationship that they've been in. Like is it common for every person that's been in a relationship to do that, or is it like, I guess your generation just don't grow from it most of the case? So
like in this identity phase, in the second largest period of brain growth from 12 to 25, that's when you form so many ideas of yourself. Mm-hmm. It's also when you experience the first type of loss and rejection and breaking of trust and like all those other things. And so I think a lot of people tend to not consider all of those aspects and elements and either shut down and go inside themselves and they're like, I'm fine, I'm cool, I don't need anyone.
Right.
Or in a relationship, they won't even ask for what they need because they're just trying to take care of it on their own.
So what advice would you give to people that are closed off to relationships but want to be in a relationship?
I think that one of the hardest things that one of the hardest types of growth somebody can go through is finding a way to experience internal validation so that you don't need the external validation.
Right.
What happens when somebody is closed off or doesn't want to ask for a relationship, even though they really do yearn for it, is you got to try and do that work to come to peace with yourself so that that relationship is an extension of that inner growth, that inner understanding, that inner peace, as opposed to looking to someone to fix it, to solve it, to cure it. It's more like you're finding someone who reflects it and you grow together. But that's also why healthy relationships are so hard.
Yeah.
That's why so many people are in codependent relationships or in relationships that aren't as open or sharing, because it's hard to do that work. It's hard to do that work as an individual, and then it's hard to find somebody else who would even reflect it.
You ate that up. You ate that little one up. I honestly, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna ask like my own questions as well. But
okay. Do we have other questions? What's happening today?
I didn't come with questions because I was sick. Unfortunately, I'm recovering. You're not gonna get sick, I promise.
You told me to wear red, and you don't even.
I didn't want to break dress code. I mean, I didn't want to get an infraction. I get another one, I'm not going to prom. So, I mean, don't worry about it. I could take this off, but I didn't want to break dress code. But I have the glasses and my shoes. Kind of fitted up today. You didn't see those?
I didn't until now, but that is a good look. That's a good Valentine's Day podcast.
Yeah.
Look. All right, what are your other questions? And also, by no stretch of the imagination, am I a relationship expert?
Yeah,
These
no, but you know more than us in this room.
Hopefully.
Okay, so one question that I have for you is, what do you think about hookup culture?
So one, let's look at the data. The data shows that hookup culture doesn't even exist. The data shows
what?
The data shows that 18 to 30-year-olds are, in the past year, 47% of them haven't even had a sexual partner.
Oh, I can see that.
The data shows that 60% of males between the ages of 18 and 30 haven't asked someone out on a date in the past year. So this idea that Gen Z is like open, hooking up, doing all this other stuff.
No, I didn't say
like,
Gen Z. I'm just talking about like hookup culture, period.
So let's define hookup culture.
Okay.
So
you got it.
Hookup culture first would be the idea that people are having multiple sexual partners or multiple hookups in a short span of time.
Mm-hmm.
That is happening for a certain percentage of people across all ages, right?
Yes.
But it is not everyone doing it.
No.
It's a small percentage of people. There are healthy aspects to that. There could be people who know themselves, know what they want, know that they're not ready for a relationship. They're just looking to hook up. At any age, that could be healthy for people. If everyone is in agreement, if those are the expectations, if that's what people know, like, that could be healthy. But that's typically not the case for people. A lot of people in that group do want more. They're just afraid to ask for it. So then they kind of disassociate from their bodies, and then they're like, yeah, I'm cool hooking up, but they actually wanted more, but they're not. And it doesn't matter gender either in that. That's across genders. So hookup culture can be negative if it becomes a coping mechanism of an expression of you not understanding yourself.
Yeah.
If, like I said, everyone's in agreement, everyone's healthy at school, fine.
Yeah, I agree.
But typically there's other issues happening.
I agree. Yeah. I'm on like both sides. Like, I personally don't partake in that, but like I understand why people would and why people wouldn't. And you just gotta explain it, so I won't go into that again. Another question I have for you is, what do you think about, how do I say this? What do you think about having a situationship online?
I think it's super common. And I think that right now, because so many people spend so much time online, that's where they meet people, that's where they connect. Mm-hmm. I think what's tough about that is, one, you never know if the person's real.
Yeah.
Like, you never know what they actually look like, what they do, because you just can't trust anything right now. But I think it speaks more towards where people are putting their energy. Like, life is always going to be where you put your energy.
My mom says that all the time.
But if you put your energy into anxiety or fear or nervousness or insecurity, well, like that's what you're going to get back.
Right.
If you are putting your energy into this online situationship, then that energy is going to grow. If you are putting your energy into, you know, anything that's like causing uncertainty, insecurity, stuff like that, it's going to grow. But there's also a moment where when people are lonely or misunderstood or even at a place of health, that they connect to someone that they want it to be real. And so they are hopeful in that situationship online of like, well, maybe they'll build, maybe they'll grow. You're getting a ton of dopamine in the flirtiness and the exchange and the waiting for the response and the what's going to happen next.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that contributes to situationships online is the like anticipation and the curiosity. But, you know, I think it's always going to be better if people can do that in person because at least you can get a better gauge. The unfortunate reality is we just live online now. So
yeah, agree.
Like how many people your age are still going out on like actual in-person dates? Like you're like, I'm going to go out, we're going to go get dinner.
Yeah,
or we're
it's
gonna
like
go
the thing is
somewhere.
It happens, but like it's never like, oh, let's go on a date. It's always like, oh, we're gonna hang out, or like it's just in the air. Like you're hanging out, but they never like say it's a date. It's weird. That was all the questions I had for you. Honestly, they're gonna come up as we speak. But yeah, any questions for me?
Yeah, I think what does dating culture look like in Gen Z right now? Like if people aren't, so if 60% of dudes aren't even asking somebody out, and then if 47% of people don't even have a sexual partner in the past year, if like all the rates of loneliness are going up, what does like an interaction look like? Like, so here's an example. I was at the gym on Saturday, and this woman, probably like late 20s, was working out, and this guy came up and was like, yo, are you using this bench? And so she took her AirPods out and she was like, oh, what's your name? And he like gave her his name.
Rizz.
And then she was like, no, I'm not using the bench, but like, what are you working on today? And he like answered.
She has game.
And then he was like,
I'm gonna steal that.
Then he was like, sorry, like, he was like, sorry, you know, I like, I'll just use the bench. And she was like, please don't apologize. You can ask me anytime. And I was like,
bro, like she's right there. She's right there.
One, I was like, what happens at this gym? Like, I was like, because it's like the gym that my girlfriend goes to. I don't even go to it. So, like, I was texting her from the gym. I was like, yo, what happens at your gym? Because this doesn't happen at my gym. My gym does not, no one even talks to each other. And you're right, I was proud of her. But like that was like, that I have seen that play out. My life. Does that play out for y'all's generation? Well, that's millennials though. Let's be honest. They're like 30s, I would say. She looked late 20s, but she could have been 30s. Dude was definitely in his 30s. So
I would like to say that there are, I'm going to stand up for the girls for this one. Okay, you know what, I won't even say we.
And the guy was really attractive. He was an attractive,
but he
just
wasn't.
Dude.
He wasn't like. He
just
wasn't given the same energy.
He was not matching her rizz.
Rizz? No, I was trying not to use that word this whole time. But rizz is so like it's an embarrassing word, but we're gonna use it since that's just in our vocabulary now.
She was like a Rizzosaurus Rex out there. She was like Rizzler.
Oh, kill me. Jesus. Oh my God. All right, we're banning that. Let's say game.
So what happens? What happens to people your age?
So what I've seen, what I've witnessed, girls our age, we give out the shots more than the men do. Like there would be days when I feel bold and I want to like try to have game, I will go up to a guy, like try to start conversation, and they'll just be like, oh yeah, like yeah, oh no, like just give like short like answers. So that's why I've like pulled back. And there's other, oh my God, there's so many girls that I know that like they like they would pursue a guy and then he just wouldn't realize. You know what I mean? Like it's just like it's sort of like a cat and mouse game as well. It's very different for everybody, but I just know, like, I feel like girls are dominating the game at this point. Unless you're a guy that just really has like some sort of emotion, but that's just, I barely see that for real.
I think part of it though is guys are scared.
Yeah.
I don't think guys know the difference between flirting and sexual harassment. And so now, because things have all been couched under sexual harassment,
Or like,
they're scared to say anything because they're like, what if I say something and it's actually offensive?
it's that.
And they should know it. I'm not excusing it.
Yeah,
They should
yeah.
know the difference, but I don't think they do.
It's that, and there's also like guys that would just automatically assume that a girl talking to them or being interested in the conversation is flirting. Like for me, that's why I think my game is just bad because
It's rizz.
it's
No.
that's why I think my game is bad because I could go up to a guy and ask about like, oh, like what kind of music you're into. I can ask that. I can ask that to anybody. I can ask my teacher what kind of music they're into. Like, it's just, for me, it's just in the air. Like, the only game I got is just staring and like smiling. That's it. While I'm talking to them, not staring from across the room. That's weird.
But when so let's say that somebody has good game, they approach a guy. Does a guy even know someone's interested in him, or are they kind of like checked out?
I'm not a guy. No. Solomon says no.
Guys don't know when
I think, yeah. And
people are interested in them. And this is very heteronormative, but like any gender, I would imagine like.
Or, oh my God, I have a.
More bold.
Be more bold? Yeah. I'm scared to be bold.
Looking and smiling isn't.
It's not nothing, but like sometimes it works for me.
Well, no, I'm not saying. I'm just saying like that's not really.
But usually when I do that, when I sometimes I do it to the wrong people, and yeah, I attract the wrong people. But I'm gonna use this as an example. I know this guy isn't watching this right now, but there was a while ago when I was in middle school where I sparked conversation with this guy. It wasn't like flirting or anything. Middle school, I wasn't even thinking about dating anyone for real until like 8th grade. But I was like, I was talking to this guy. We were like cool, laughing, da da da. Next day, he has my number, and I'm like, wait, how did he get my number? This girl was like, I gave him your number, and I'm like, why did you do that? Why didn't you ask me? Don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. I don't care if you're like trying to put somebody on. Do not do that. Ask the person. Ask the person if their phone number could be put out like that. Don't just volunteer. But anyways, yeah, she gave out my phone number. Then like a few days later, I'm in after school, and the guy that I was talking to that's friends with, we have a friend of a friend. I went up to that person and he's like, oh yeah, he was saying that you guys are dating. I'm like, what? Yeah, that's the story.
That's too much.
That's a lot.
That's too much.
That is a lot.
So you're saying like sometimes what gets complicated too is like trusting friends, having conversations with other people. It's not easy.
Yeah, and I just think our generation just needs to be clear. Like, even if it's scary, like if you really want that person, just go for it. But like, tell them your intentions. Don't just walk around the idea of like, oh yeah, this could be anything.
Pressure.
But like,
that's so much pressure to meet someone and be like, my intentions are just to talk to you.
You don't say it like that, like a robot. Like, you're talking to that person. Maybe you like seeing each other a few times. You guys are feeling each other. You know, got the phone number.
So you're saying just be honest about like, hey, I like talking to you.
Be honest about what you want
I like
to
seeing
do.
You.
Be honest.
Okay, that's a little bit easier.
Yeah. I can't believe I'm giving advice, but like that's really that's what I think. You could get a little far. I'm not gonna say you can get into a relationship but like you could get a little far. I think saying your intentions right there, like not as soon as you meet the person, but like as you get to know a person, that's cool. So the other person can fill it out, and then it's gonna be a yes or no, and then you guys just won't waste each other's time.
And then just being direct gives people more clarity.
Exactly.
Okay. That makes sense to me. I think to close out this episode.
It was so short.
Hear me out.
I got you.
There's a little like mindfulness, like connective activity you can do, whether you're single on this Valentine's Day.
Yes.
Or you're in a relationship.
Love yourself.
You do both things.
Yes.
Right? So like, just think about this. Your pulse, your little heartbeat turned on before you even came into the world. And that heartbeat has been an unconscious life force throughout your whole life. You never have to tell your heart, beat, beat, beat. It's just constantly beating. Your heart, no matter what age you are, has been through a lot. It's been through a lot of ups and downs. It's been through a lot of change. On Valentine's Day, if you are single, you can just find your heartbeat in your pulse, if you can feel it beating, and just give some gratitude to your heart for keeping you alive, for keeping you going. If you're in a relationship or you have someone that you care about, find their heartbeat. Listen to their heartbeat just for a little bit and express some gratitude to everything their heart has been through and what their heart gives to you. You could do that with a pet even. You can just lay on your dog's chest and
Don't be in relationships with your pets. So that's weird.
Nobody said that. Nobody said that, Micah. Nobody said that.
I'm just saying, bro.
But remember that your heart, the figurative heart, the literal heart on this Valentine's Day has gone through a lot.
Yes.
And you should make sure you find time to appreciate it.
Give yourself some gratitude, some affirmations. Sometimes you're not like, you don't need someone to, grow and become the person that you want to be. That's going to come later if you want that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's episode 4, everybody. I am one of your co-hosts, Mr. Szabo.
I'm also one of your co-hosts, Micah Norris. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good Valentine's Day.